It's worth noting, of course, that not only is it rare for us to have picture lock as a workflow these days, we actually don't have a picture lock mode within Premiere Pro. And we've got the option to turn off and on linking, we can do snapping, we've got controls for the way we nest or do not nest sequences, but we don't have a way of locking the position of our clips. A very common solution to this problem is to lock whole tracks. And so here, for example, I know that I don't want to change the contents of the audio for the music or for the music video. I know I'm not going to want to make changes to the music video contents. So I can just lock my audio 2 and lock my video 3. And now no matter what I do, I'm not going to make any adjustments. I can't even select these items. Now this is a great solution, but you do have to be a little bit careful. And I'll illustrate what I mean. If I select a big chunk of the timeline, I'm just going to use the I and the O keys on my keyboard to select a whole region here, and I perform a lift edit, you can see, of course, nothing's happening to those tracks. And that's visual and that's okay. If I undo and do an extract edit instead, you can see I've now broken the sync between the main contents of my media and the contents of that music video audio. Now, this is a big problem because I'm making a really obvious visual adjustment here. And of course, alarm bells are going to go off in your head when you see a timeline like this and you're going to think, what have I done? And you're going to undo. I almost feel sometimes we should have an undo foot pedal just to make it as accessible as possible. But what if you're making something much more subtle? What if I just zoom in a little bit here? In fact, what if I pick one of these shots and I press the / key to select it, and then I just zoom out and I think, oh, I forgot to extract that. So I'll click on the extract button and I've removed it. Now, in first inspection, it looks like everything's fine on my timeline. I've still got pretty much all my content and I've removed a little piece of the middle. But if I zoom in, again, I'm pressing the plus key here on my timeline, I can see I've actually kicked sync out for all of the clips in my main behind the scenes content and the music video. The question is, which way have I kicked it out of sync? Have I gone early? Have I gone late? And if I scroll back along and keep going, here we go. I reach a point where I can see we've got sync, sync, and then no sync. And I can begin to fix the problem. Now, I'm just going to undo, Control or Command Z. Let me just remove the in and out marks as well with Shift Control X on my PC here, Alt X on a Mac. So what can you do while you don't have picture lock to try things out and see what you can get away with on your media? Well, when you're working with your special effects, you're going to go step by step anyway. But there's a lot to be said for inserting tracks. So I'm just going to right-click and choose Add Track on my visuals and putting in multiple adjustment layers and making changes using those. These are very, very good holding positions for special effects, particularly if you're working on a scene-by-scene basis. I'm also a big fan of just generating presets while you're making up your mind about things. So if you've got a look, say, for example, here, and I select the clip and I put a special effect on, make a preset and put a folder in your effects list. I'm just scrolling with the mouse to find my effects panel, and add a custom bin and put your effect presets in there as a reference with very, very clear names. You can use those later on during your special effects work. And it's just a way of handing off from the non-special effects phase of your edit to the fully detailed VFX stage later, so that you're not yet tying down anything, you're not yet locked into anything, but you've got some kind of reference point for what you are thinking about at this stage of the edit. So that's just a few thoughts on working without picture lock in Premiere Pro.